3, 2, 1.
Right.
Take 2.
All right. You can have it this time.
Here it is. What do you know?
Get your ass to Mars.
Mission.
Wait.
15,
Counting.
14, 13,
All systems are go.
11.
I am the J Tyler. Gotta have time to masturbate.
Well, I think it kind of speaks for itself.
Can't be trusted around anything. Do not put your hands.
I
Clumsy
take money
Miss
for
Pike.
naughty favors.
She
Where's
does.
that mushroom toy? Because that mushroom head seems to get in the way.
Thanks, Dr. Z.
She was what the kids would call a slut, which is a terrible thing to say, but apparently there's no denying she was one.
I want to apologize to all of you for what happened in there. In our competition for ratings, we all lost sight of why we got into show business in the first place.
Yeah, titties and beer.
I guess he's not being charged for holidays.
There are worse things to be in show business for. But it's usually titties and beer. Hey, everybody, welcome to Nothing Out Live. I'm the J Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
Oh, Boebs. We're going to get to her in a minute.
Boeb's got boobs. No denying it.
She's a naughty. She is definitely. Look, no.
She can't be reasoned with. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, she's the Terminator. All right, you guys. Before we get to Boebs, we're going to talk about fun with exercise. You know, I've been doing this like super regimen. I get up in the morning, boom, I get coffeeed up, eat some food.
Yeah, it's good to have a schedule,
stuff
right?
and shit, and then I'm like out the door. Like, try to be out the door by like 8:45 because that's when Dumber Than the Show trivia comes on.
Oh.
And so then it gets me like I'm all do.
Do you like to be in a certain place when you hear mental health? I think it's good to have a regimen.
Well, and my watch gives me little dopamine rushes every now and then.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
because
it
it
keeps
says
track of
you
all-
did this,
it
you
keeps-
achieved
Yeah.
this goal.
It's like, yes, look at what you too can do. So it like gives me these like ring things. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but the watch I found is very accurate. Just how accurate, you ask?
Well, you
So
can have a
cute.
lot of fun with your journey.
So if you go for a walk, you can hit pause like the workout. Oh no, don't even try it, little lady.
I'm not coming.
No,
I'm not touching your
touching-
damn. Oh,
touch.
you're talking to the watch.
Yeah.
It's little lady now.
So you can hit pause and then resume, and what it'll do is it'll like break your walk up into things like this.
So it lets you write. So
I started it here and did this walk and then paused it, then walked
then-
over here and I went like this and I meant to pause it there, but I didn't. I walked over here and then I spelled S and then I spelled Y. That's Miss Parker's name.
So you're exercising.
Yeah. Then I
To my name.
went for a ride. I did this.
That's appropriate because you ride with Anna and you walk with me.
Yeah,
So
there you
well,
go.
you walk with her too,
Yeah,
right?
I walk with everybody.
You ride everybody too.
So, yeah, so fun with exercise. Before we get to this, Angel, why everybody's been talking about like why Trump like sort of snuck into Washington.
Maybe he left some files there and he was hoping to sneak in. And
He's like gonna try like a kid. He's gonna try to like sneak in and replace them. See, they were there the whole time. See if you can get in there.
it's like when I was in high school and I used to get teachers to let me back into the classroom so that I could, do kind of questionable things. They wouldn't watch me. I'd say, "Oh, I left my book in there," and I'd go in there and I'd write something on the desk for the next person who was going to sit there. All sorts of things that kept me entertained when it was otherwise really not very entertaining.
Oh,
Public education,
it's not very entertaining.
mostly no.
Those damn professors. All
I
right,
learned a few things though.
this thing is not
Talking to you, Mr. Dansky.
So. Right, I was worried about this.
It's all dark now.
Yeah, and it's gonna be because for some reason this thing is just like whatever, dude. So
It's like, hey, if you didn't tell me to do it, I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, it's not.
Can't
it's
read
not
your
doing it.
goddamn mind.
It's not doing it. Maybe it'll pop up. Who knows? This little lady, who's going to win, which makes me sad for Colorado.
Dottie, You need to
Yeah,
make
you
a
need to-
trek
yeah, you need to
back to Colorado and take
run
that bitch on.
that office. But this is funny. This was her debate the other day.
Pelosi is running a con game in Washington, D.C. Nancy's con game works like
Nancy.
this. Fire Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's
I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi. I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi
I'm Adam
plays
Frisch,
in
I'm
Pelosi's
Nancy
con
Pelosi.
game. Pelosi pushes this, but she will put a 2,000-page bill on our desks at midnight.
Knowing we don't
Nancy's con
read.
game,
Yeah.
saying Nancy's con game
Yeah.
to do it. DC
Yeah,
to play
it's a
Nancy
con
Pelosi's
game
con
when I
game.
can't
It
read,
makes me
and
terribly
she's trying to
sad
get
when
me to
Nancy Pelosi
read.
uses the-
What
think
Nancy
it meant
Pelosi
more
has to go on.
inflation, more borrowing from China, and Pelosi knows it. Pelosi's con games. This was a blank check, and
Okay, I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
there was Pelosi is running a con game. Under Pelosi, Democrats are told the Pelosi con game in Aspen, and just like Pelosi, budget committee. And Nancy Pelosi will not. It's not time to help Nancy Pelosi. It is time to fire Nancy Pelosi. This election, say no to liberal extremists, and there.
Okay,
are no
I have a
IRS
question. Just playing the devil's advocate here. Is there any point in the debate where she ties him to Nancy Pelosi, where she says, "Okay,
Oh,
Nancy
she's
Pelosi-
Nancy
no, wait.
Pelosi is the queen of the world, and
I know,
she
but
dictates, and
I'm
they
I'm
just follow like the
I'm
little
just
soldiers.
saying that when McCain was running for president against Obama,
Right.
Obama kept bringing up McCain's record and saying
Right.
he voted with Bush on this, he voted with Bush on this, he
This is
voted
right.
with Bush on this, he stood by Bush with this. She might have a point if she could say Adam Frisch voted with Pelosi. I don't even know who Adam
This is
Frisch
just
is.
this tells you what it is. It's a person like her believes that the Democrats are the same as the Republicans. They all receive the marching orders from on high, and they do whatever who is above them tells them what to do. She's a rubber stamp, like Herschel Walker. They want just that. They understand the hierarchy, right? They are told what to do, and so they project that on the Democrats. Man, Democrats argue all the time. That's why they can't get shit done.
And I guess not being able to read is a feature. It's not a bug with these guys
Yeah, it's right. It's a
because they
feature
do
of it.
blindly follow orders. They
Yep,
don't read
they just-
anything and
What?
have an
I'm in.
opinion
I
on it.
stormed the castle and I'm in jail. Right? Oh no! What is this? What is this dictator state going on here? It's like
Nobody
oh,
told me that we
broke
actually couldn't do
the
this
law.
legally because
Broke
I don't
the law.
read.
I don't raid. I don't raid. Ding 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 ding.
You forgot the tobacco. There you go. Okay.
Oh, it's just a little behind the thing. So yeah, again, he's just. I love this guy. He's like.
I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
That's just great. Oh, Boebert. Oh, you should go back to stripping. I'm not saying you were stripping before, but I mean, I'm not hating on sex workers. Anyway,
You know, you can be a sex worker and be a very intelligent individual. I do know of a woman who's extremely smart who paid her way through college as an exotic dancer. And she was brilliant, probably still is brilliant. I think she's a teacher now, but I mean, it's lucrative. So Lauren Boebert, you could have made a lot more money if you continued stripping, and you might have a lot more power, and you wouldn't have to worry about reading.
wow, I really messed this one up.
You don't have to know how to read. I mean, you can be really smart and be a stripper, but you don't have to know how to read.
There we go. That's better.
Okay, so we've been sort of going into rabbit holes with regard to bridges and construction of tiny houses and little hovels in the ground. It's wonderful stuff.
Something popped up when I
This
was.
popped up.
This popped up. This is the Kirch Bridge. Now, I didn't really know about that because it's not really been talked about. Now, this bridge was built in 2016. It's called the Crimean Bridge or the Kerch Strait Bridge. It was built in 2016, or it was started in 2016 after they annexed Crimea. So it connects Crimea to Russia, right, around that backside. They haven't, nobody's really been talking about, they don't want to, so Ukraine could just easily take this bridge out. It's got rail on one side and it's got traffic on the other. So they could take that bridge out and it would fuck shit up for Russia. But what else it would do is it would fuck shit up for people that are fleeing a goddamn war zone, right? And so they're held, they're sort of like, I wonder though at what point that comes into play, where they're just like, dude, everybody out, we're blowing this fucking bridge up, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to
The-
flee now.
and
But of
it's-
course, you can't
it's-
be. You have to be discreet about it.
It's like the longest fucking bridge in Europe, if not the world, or something. It's like it's 19 kilometers long, so 12 miles long. They could hit that fucker anywhere along there. How are you going to defend 12 miles of bridge from somebody that's really down to blow the fucking thing up, right? You don't. That's the answer. So it's I mean, it's either Ukraine is exercising restraint or they're human. I'm going with human.
I'm going with both.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the Kerch Bridge. So this guy talks about this guy treason. This is what the rabbit hole came down.
Oh yeah, we watched.
No,
I don't remember
no,
what
it
it
was.
was.
A Twitter thing or something.
Well,
or
no,
was
we
it
were
a-
watching a video and there are all
Oh.
these comments on it.
No, Russia is not retreating. They are simply demonstrating that their troops are superior at running long distance than Ukrainian troops. That was the funny.
So in other words, potato, potato.
So yeah, so they're running, and that's the thing is that you don't want to cut off their way out. Now that then they're fucking then it's fucked up. So, but yeah, that certainly is a tempting target, and it cost them like billions and billions of dollars to build that.
Who, Russia?
Russia, yeah, to build that bridge, and it's brand new. Ooh, and so vulnerable. So, fuck with the Hornet. The Hornet's nest, man. Ukraine.
Kick the hornet's
I've
nest.
I've been keeping
Yeah.
very close eye on like what. We have like 6,000 of these like military vehicles called M113s. They're troop transports. They're light armored troop transports, and we're just like, give them away because it's more expensive for us to like dismantle them. So we're just like, they're just like, well, if let's just make them running and hand them off to like Ukraine. We sent like a couple hundred of them to them, and they're falling into this trap of like using them as armor because they're not a heavy caliber weapon, like a 50 cal. Go through it, but they fall into this trap of like using the armor.
This is a naive question, but how are we transporting stuff to Ukraine?
Through Poland. Mostly, I think, through Poland.
It just seems like Russia would be highly motivated to interrupt such.
Yeah, but they don't have the
transfers.
manpower. Again, look what happened to them the other day. It was like a 1-2 punch. They cut off the news people, and then they had all the news agencies in Ukraine concentrating on reporting about the fighting in the south and sort of moving some of their mechanized stuff down there, giving it this idea that they were going to back it up. So Russia moves their troops out from the north to go reinforce, and they took back Kharkiv and they took back Izium. They pushed the Russians way the fuck back just this week.
So it's like they're dangling a treat in front of them and saying, "Follow me, follow me,
yeah.
follow." Meanwhile, or they're dangling that nice ass in front of them. They're going for the nice ass, and it walks away.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile,
So we gave them these MLRS and the HIMARS systems, these rocket systems that they've been using, but they only got the 90-kilometer one, so it wouldn't be able to reach this bridge.
Mhm.
But they do make 130-kilometer one, which would easily reach this bridge. But we haven't given them that yet because we're trying to keep them from resisting the urge to like going into Russia or hitting stuff deep in Russia, bases and shit like that. That would be bad. So you're stuck between a humanitarian crisis and
So it would
and
piss
a
off
war,
NATO,
like
in
a
other words,
special war.
if
It would
they-
fit, yeah. Again, that's why this bridge is so important, not to blow up, but also it's like they can sort of be like, yo, it's like if it comes down to it, say fucking sayonara to your bridge, bitch.
So what about these pundits who are
Oh yeah,
openly?
they're dead.
Yeah.
Now they're dead. Yeah.
So talk about the pundits who are
Oh god.
openly critical of the.
We'll
what
see
their
again.
own
I think it was
country's
in
doing.
fucking YouTube. YouTube. Yeah. So these Russian state. Let's see if this comes in. I don't know if it will. But I guess it's like it's like this round table, like Fox type studio, and they're all talking about it, and a bunch of these like guys
Online
are
learning
a bunch of these
isn't working.
guys are like, this is bullshit. Nobody wants this, and and now, and now they're dead. So just enjoy your poisoning. I hope
They're
they're.
like
I hope
they're like stars. We see their light, and they're already dead
Yeah,
stars,
that's right.
but
They haven't.
they still sparkle in our sky.
Yeah, so hopefully they. I mean, maybe Putin at this point is just like, who gives a fuck what they say? This theories that his health is failing and shit like that is kind of a thing. So anyway, we're gonna come back in the next segment with, since I can't get these guys because they're dead. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
I'll have to call up the video beforehand.
In the next segment, we focus on dicks and dickish behavior. We've got a
We
big,
got one for you.
we got a nice dick for
We
you.
wrote a skit about it.
Yeah,
All right, we'll be back in a moment. This
is Nothing Yet Live.
you're killing me.
No,
Just
you're killing
me.
me. Fuck you. Shut up.
Killing